Alright, and welcome to Dota 2 Professional League 2018. I know it says 2016 on the top of the screen, but it's DPL Season 5 here in 2018. I don't think they've made a new ticket for, honestly, quite some time. And we get into this first game of a best of two, which honestly doesn't really make much sense. It's group stage, two-game series, not really a best of two. It's always this weird thing that, because there's nobody, you can win two games, you can win the two games, you can split the two games, but it's not a best of, really. Forget that, all that aside, first game of the new season, we've got IG up against Vici Gaming Potential, and I am your caster, VG.P, joined here by Bottom of the Moon as my co-caster. I was going to ask him how he's doing. We actually went over this before we even started the whole casting, because this is our first time together. He said, I never know how to answer to being asked how he's doing, so I'm just going to embarrass him right now. Get it all out of the way. Get everything out, all the chunks of, nervousness out of the way, and I was going to ask him how he's doing. But I just want to know how he feels, honestly, about this first pick, Faceless Void, as well as Chen, because, honestly, I haven't done Chinese Dota in a long time. Omni Knight's banned. I don't see a lot of Faceless Void first pick, especially with the Warlock quick pick, too, but Bottom, after my long monologue, I gotta know, what are your thoughts on the draft so far?
Well, my thoughts so far. VG Game Potential starting off with the Warlock early on. We've seen Warlock sneaking into the meta in the last few weeks, quite a lot actually. Just getting that reliable stun up, having the crazy fatal bombs, and together with the Chronosphere, that is a lot of damage coming out. And I quite like the pickup against both the Chen and the Gyrocopter. That gives you something early on. Warlock also really good at actually harassing out the offlane, simply because he has that sustain with the Shadow Word on him.
What's we're seeing more of Warlock. Like, it's actually been drafted a lot in CIS. It was picked up when Epicenter was going on, and now first game of DPL this season we see it get picked up. What about Warlock is so, what makes you want to pick him, especially we see 4s or 5s that really overshadow him quite a bit?
Yeah, talking about the overshadowing, I feel like Warlock is one of those heroes you usually don't expect and you never really ban around. But when you already see the Bounty Hunter getting banned out, the Naga is banned out from VG Gaming Potential, Invictus Gaming going with the Elder Titan and the Omni Knight, as well as the Tiny Hunter task, so that's all these popular roamers out, so you gotta choose. Do we go with a Shadow Shaman, who is fairly squishy and can't really stand up the harassment from a Gyrocopter already drafted by Invictus? You kinda want that hero that kinda does something, even if he doesn't do anything. He has that one button he can press in the teamfight, and Warlock is just, he's a Sun King without a channel, really.
So,
that's the Willow.
Yeah, Dark Willow has been picked up, and I've seen Dark Willow do some dirty, disgusting things, especially in a core position. I've seen Dark Willow in the 3 spot, the 4 spot, the 5 spot. I mean, there was that post on Reddit that Empire was playing Dark Willow in every single position possible. But Dark Willow comes into this newly into Captain's mode, outputs quite a bit of damage when it hits that level 6. How do you like this Dark Willow pickup, especially with Chen and Gyrocopter? Does it feel a little bit greedy, or is it just right to be in that offlane role?
I think, personal opinion, Dark Willow is always a fantastic pick, simply because it's a nice hero, fun to play, and she just fits every role. You can run her on the offlane if you want to, if you have some support with her. Not that commonly, but you can do it. Mid lane as well, if you really have to. You're not going to see a mid-Willow, but hey, I got my hopes. It's just, you have a stun, you have a root, you have a massive damage output, and you have one of the best defensive mechanisms in the game. But we gotta talk about the hedgehog in the room here. We have a Bristleback.
Yeah, Bristle. I feel like Bristle I've been seeing more and more as well, kind of like that Warlock. Just seems like he's coming back in the meta, and the meta's kind of been, in my opinion, a little bit stagnant, but recently we've seen some shifts. We've seen some new heroes kind of show their faces, i.e. Dark Willow, Warlock, and Bristleback, all for different reasons. Dark Willow getting added to Captain's Mode, but what brings Bristleback really into the fray more and more as this meta kind of shifts?
So, Bristleback is a popular pickup against the Dark Willow because you don't really take that much damage. You just turn around and negate almost all of your damage, unless there's like some really hard lockdowns keeping you in place and she hits you from the front. It's just you have that undisputed AoE that can come out against the Gyrocopter. It's also really good because Rocket Barrage triggers the Bristleback quite fast, and you don't take that much damage from it. It just he's still one of the lesser picked up heroes. There's one reason why he's just out. But I feel like with the lineup they're running right now, they could pull off the Bristleback because you're already looking at a Torrent. There's a Warlock as the backup. There's a Chronosphere to go over it. They are super tanky and can sustain a fight.
Yeah, it seems like their team fight too. Like once they get the ball rolling in the mid game, is kind of dangerous. Chronosphere, Chaotic Offering, as well as the boat, and then just having those quill sprays stack up on you. I feel like Vici Gaming Potential, their lineup's kind of deadly, and now coming out from IG, they go to the Legion Commander, which does one of two things. Either you get your wish and Dark Will is going to be mid, or now it kind of pushes Dark Will into the 5 position, which personally I'm not a huge fan of. I like Dark Will more in the offlane role, and it will be not in that core role.
Well, I agree. I like her on the core positions more as well. It's the only thing you really need on the Dark Willow is experience. And with the recent roaming meta, especially with a channel on the field, the support is going to have some levels regardlessly on the lane. You're also up against the Bristleback, which means you have a lot of lockdown with the Gyrocopter. You have the Legion Commander for the offlane sitting for Invictus, so you have that potential Silver Edge coming out. Now the Death Prophet in mid, so that's a lot of pushing power. That is a lot of disable coming out simply only from the Willow. You also have amplify damage with the Chen, with the increased damage.
This is interesting. So they've got Aggressive on the Death Prophet, SRF on the Legion Commander, Baboka. We've seen classic Baboka on a bunch of different heroes, especially in that roaming position. And now we get to see him on the Dark Willow. I mean, if you know Baboka, he always makes plays. And do you think this kind of hero kind of fits his playstyle of that playmaker 4 position?
Definitely. Dark Willow is pretty much a puck that doesn't depend on a farming lane. Willow is just, you can dodge pretty much everything there is. It's every projectile, pretty much everything is just dodgeable. Then you have a root, you have a stun, you have a massive damage output, so the potential for big plays is there. It's like, yeah, it's basically she's a puck, just with slightly better spells, and still needs to get adjusted a little bit if you ask me.
Yeah, so we'll see Q on the Chen, which is a 5 position Chen, but Baboka and Q, their farm is not really dependent hugely on where their, official position is. I've seen Q on that Chen a couple times, and he does quite well with it, so we'll have to see how he does work that Chen. And, now you've got XXS on that Gyrocopter as well. How do you feel about these lineups? Is there any team in particular that really stands out to you? Personally, I kind of like Vici Gaming Potential's lineup, but based on just how well teams perform, you got to think that IG's the favorite here.
I must say, strictly from the lineup position, not taking a team into account, IG still has the better lineup. You have pretty old school draft together mixed in with the Willow. You have an answer to a Bristleback that might get fed. You have an answer to Faceless Void as well with the duel, so the Legion's gonna play a key role here, and you have that pushing power. Looking on the side, or looking on the other side, you have a Kunkka, maybe have a Warlock, but there's no solid tower damage coming out from them.
One thing I kind of noticed from IG2 is, like, yeah, they've got Bramble Maze, dual homing missile, possible creeps here for Chen. It just seems like they're a little bit lacking in reliable stuns. Bramble Maze, especially when you see a Dark Willow on the back end of a bad game, misses those Bramble Mazes, and all of a sudden teams can kind of structure and play around it. So is that something that IG should kind of be worried about, not having these real reliable stuns?
I mean, I think they have a good amount of reliable stuns. If there's a homing missile you can always play around with, you can even buy time with the Bramble Maze, and it's not that hard to hit for the Bramble Maze. It's also, it lasts 15 seconds, so you can pretty much set up your fight. It has a downtime of 10 seconds on the Willow. there's just so much to deal with. Like, you see a Chronosphere going down, Bramble Maze behind it because the range is huge. Then you just prevent any follow-up in the Chronosphere. So I really feel like this Willow is going to play a key role. But looking at the lanes, we have Bristleback Warlock coming for the off lane.
Yeah, off lane is going to be Goking with TZY. So this is a Vici Gaming potential, mostly a new lineup. I think it's 3 out of 5. Goking was on the DPL secondary lineup that did end up winning the lower league. It's kind of like English Premier League and then English Championship League or Champions League. Not exactly sure the name. I'm an American. That's that NA education for you. But they placed top. They go into the top bracket. They're in DPL top this season, and Goking was a part of that team, so we'll see if they're able to put their chemistry together. It should be interesting. TZY in the off lane for Vici Gaming potential with Goking on the Warlock. Over mid is no name here for the Queen of Pain. That's going to be quite some fun. And then Life No Color on the Faceless Void, and then finally on the Kunkka is DY, who is also on that squad. For the side of IG, just going around the horn here real quick. Aggressive on that Death Prophet with Baboka here in the top lane. And then over mid, we take a look and see XSS on the Gyrocopter, and then off lane for them is going to be the Legion Commander SRF, and then in that 5 is Q on the Chen. So, again, a little bit of a monologue for myself, but any lanes that really jump out at you that really look like they're going to favor one team or the other?
So, looking for VG game potential, you have to have Bristleback Warlock lane at the top. And Bristleback, he struggled with a lot of early harassment, but the Warlock kind of fixed that problem. So even though if there's a Willow and a Death Prophet with a lot of harass damage, or potential HP percentage-based damage from the Death Prophet, this Bristleback is going to have a good time. At the same time, for IG, however, the Legion Commander is up against the Faceless Void, and that's a lineup that really favors the Legion Commander 90% of the time, just because you have that reliable heal coming out. So we got to see what Vici Gaming potential is doing. It's going to do about this lane, just to pressure the Legion a little bit. And finally, for the mid game, for the mid lane lineup, I would say it's a standard Quap lane, not really risking, it's not really risking a life here at all on the lane. As there's gonna be that annoying harass from the Chen coming in once in a while, but Jerry has no real killing potential unless he lands like a perfect homing missile.
Are you surprised as I am to see Death Prophet go safe lane instead of the Gyrocopter in terms of the matchups that we're seeing?
I would say that is a smart move by IG. They kind of predicted the Bristleback. They did not expect the Warlock, I would say, but definitely Bristleback. And Gyro against Bristle is not the best lineup for the Gyrocopter because you can't really use that Rocket Barrage as effectively. Death Prophet, on the other hand, is fairly solid against them because that one Spirit Siphon takes a lot of health away from Bristleback.
Yeah, Bristleback not exactly doing as well as he probably would have hoped at 8-0, but and then you take a look over at Aggressive, 17-7 on this Death Prophet, having really no trouble as we do continue to see Baboka charge up and throw that Shadow Realm strike at TZY. So, again, it's healed off by the Warlock, but this is pushing the Bristleback really into a position where he's not really getting the farm that he'd like. And it looks like it could be a problem come the mid-game.
So, something interesting about the Dark Willow is he did not decide to pick up either Bramble Maze or the Cursed Crown, but just leveling up the Shadow Realm, which is the damage output, is a little bit weird if you ask me.
Well, I feel like Bramble Maze is more set up to look to fight, and sometimes Cursed Crown is a little bit more defensive, in my opinion, especially early, where you can land that stun. Both can be used to set up, of course, but I feel like in my opinion, I use Bramble Maze to move forward and Curse Crown to back off. But that's how I use it. That's personal, really.
But you gotta keep in mind there's that Chen in your lineup. So you're looking at reliable stuns or root or something to set up with the Bramble Maze. We're looking at 6 to 7 seconds of lockdown against the Bristleback, which will be quite useful for them. But on the other hand, they really want to use that extra damage from Shadow Realm, I guess.
Do you think that kind of root is enough to kill off a Bristleback, especially now with, you know, 1 in the Bristleback and 2 in the Quills? Can they really stand there and chase or give that rundown with that root time? Or
well, there's already Penitence coming out for the Chen here, so that is amplified damage. That's 18% bonus damage for level 1. So you have something to work with, but Baboka.
Yeah, Baboka gonna get caught out here. Shadow Realm into the TP, and DYTZY are both here. Uses that Bramble Maze, so finally shows off that third skill, which will be 1 tick into the Bramble Maze. So now Bramble Maze instead of the Cursed Crown. Any thoughts on that? Anything that you really... Do you think Bramble Maze is the better pick overall over Cursed Crown?
Yeah. Nah, pretty much 100% of the time you want the Bramble Maze over the Cursed Crown, unless you have like a... Unless there's like a really good hero against the Bramble Maze, but most of the time you don't encounter that early on in the game. So... It's just more of a thing. Shadow Realm, usually you want that 1 value point. It gives you some damage output against the supports. It has a decent cooldown anyways. It doesn't scale that well actually anymore after this light nerf. But an early point in Cursed Crown might be worth it. You have that Chen on the board.
And Chen's actually moving over bottom with SRF. They're looking for the Faceless Void, who does have 3 levels in that Time Walk, so it's a hard kill to get. But Q and SRF just trying to make a move over bottom, and that Time Walk immediately used. But it seems like Life No Color is going to have an easy time to just at least survive over bottom.
But there's a Harpy Stormcrafter, and that's one of the best Chen creeps you can fight early on, if you ask me. Definitely not the best one with ganking potential, but the most annoying one, that's for sure. That Chain Lightning. That's one hell of a spell.
So we just continue to see Life No Color. Time Walk the damage off, and he's going Battle Fury first item, which, you know, in my opinion, I think Faceless Void does have to go with that farming or aggressive item. We used to see Mask of Madness. Sometimes you see a Lincoln Sphere, which I'm not personally a fan of. I think Lincoln Sphere is, it just kind of makes it that Faceless Void can't do anything early. How do you feel about the Battle Fury coming out first for Faceless Void?
It is a logical choice in this game. You're up against the Chen, so there's naturally going to be more targets in the fight. You also lack the traditional carry in your lineup, with only the Queen kind of substituting that, as well as the Bristleback. You have a Kunker, but he's playing on position 4, so he's not going to get that much either. So you're looking at that late-game farming carry that can go up toe-to-toe against the Gyrocopter and the Legion Commander if it comes to the late game. But I would say that VG game potential looks closer to this game in the mid-game fights, using the first Chrono, using the Warlock Golem, and then push into tires with the Golem power.
Yes, level 6 is there for the Faceless Void, as well as the Queen of Pain, which I was looking over at chat. Not something I normally do, but they say that the Queen of Pain is Alucard, so no name there on the screen, but I'll try to remember that. Alucard for the Queen of Pain over mid. He's level 6. And then for IG, they've got level 6 here on the Gyrocopter as well as the Legion. You know, you do want to use that Chronosphere, I would say, early and effectively, quickly once you get that level 6. But can the same really be said for the Legion Commander at that level 6? Is over top, TZY trying to go in on the Dark Willow. There's the Shadow Realm as well as the Cursed Crown. Bramble Maze around TZY, and no rotation coming out over top. However, Dark Willow is able to escape. I'm surprised with that committed by the Dark Willow, which isn't really a lot, but no rotations on what seemed to be maybe a probable kill on a Bristleback just to get a tier 1 over bottom. You think it's worth giving up the Bristleback kill just to get this tier 1?
I don't think he actually gave up the kill. It was actually quite close. He already had 3 stacks from the Quill on the Dark Willow, and keep in mind he only had 3 stick charges. So there wasn't that much region coming out, and he potentially risked charging up the Shadow Realm and then hitting into a Bristleback, which just instantly quill sprays you down. That's a lot of damage coming out.
Yeah, I was thinking more just Dark Willow TPs out, but they have the TPs in to try and turn it around on Bristle, because that Dark Willow could not stand in trade there with that many stacks on him.
I think IG is feeling quite comfortable not taking or in taking this to the long run. They have a Death Prophet for pretty much infinite pushing power. They have a Chen to kind of rely for their early game backup. And then you're looking at a Legion here. It can infinitely scale together with a Gyrocopter, who scales quite nicely as well. They're going to commit Exorcism top, so they're just going to get their early tire advantage. Despite the fact that there's still no first blood on the board at 9 minutes, I feel like we have a Chronos soon.
Yeah, actually, it doesn't feel like it's been 10 minutes into the game, but still no first blood. Both teams kind of farming around. Hints of classic Chinese Dota there, where, you know, farm and push, but not exactly looking to fight just yet. One thing I was noticing, too, is Chen going for the medallion first with the boots. You think this is the right call from Q to just go with that medallion early?
Yeah, he's gonna build on the solar crest. They want that armor reduction coming out against both the Visible
X
and
over
the Faceless
top,
Void.
as well as the Torrent on SRF. Curse Crown is gonna hit onto this Faceless Void. They're looking to use the Chronosphere, but SRF, they might just have the kill anyway. They're continuing to chase, press the attacks used by SRF, getting far enough away, and there's the Bramble Maze locking down DY for a moment. Life No Color really doesn't want to use this Chronosphere just yet, and SRF with the overwhelming odds. There's the bash, and finally, 10 minutes in, we get our first blood in favor of Vici Gaming Potential.
Quite a chase down. Legion almost escaped after that. It's only level 1 press the attack, but let him in quite a chase.
Yeah, luckily, I would say, luckily for Vici Gaming Potential, they don't use that Chronosphere. I feel like, yeah, you probably had that kill dead to rights. Using that Chronosphere only sets back your team fight for the next 2 minutes. And now,
yeah, because then you don't have the defensive mechanism anymore. If in case there's an exorcism or a colon coming out, you want to kind of jump with the void. Maybe even use the space to just back out of a fight, since there's no Naga on the field or whatnot. So you're looking at like a weird little reset button for the fight, which the Chrono can't provide here.
Yeah, it was very, very well done, I would say. Faceless Voids, you don't see them as disciplined with Chronosphere. Especially in a position like that where you can guarantee the kill, just in case. But Life No Color is still going for the Battle Fury. Still has that Chronosphere. A bunch of these heroes on the side of Vici Gaming Potential have hit that level 6, have that ultimate available. Especially the Kunkka DY has the boat ready and in wait. And then you take a look at the Warlock going for the Tome of Knowledge next. And I think it was picked up by the Kunkka. I can't exactly tell. We don't get that option.
Yeah, it was.
And Go King looking to get that level 6 in the Warlock. Then they'll have the Chaotic Offering to work with. So full ultimates, both teams, when they're ready. I mean, is the advantage there for Vici Gaming Potential if they were to land the Chronosphere with more than, I'd say, 1 or 2 heroes in it?
Yeah, I would definitely say that the Chronosphere is going to be the big playmaker. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually picks a mobility item like the Shadow Blade up next on the Faceless Void, just to have that extra edge in jumping and landing Chronosphere. If you get 2, maybe 3 heroes on the Chronosphere, then you're looking at a Fatal Bones lineup together with Chaotic Offering. There's a Ghost Ship coming in. You have a Queen of Pain screaming all over it, and Bristleback staying at the front, just zoning everybody out. So it's a super potent combo, and IG certainly has to watch out for the Chronosphere in this game above everything else.
And as we say that,
unless there's a Willow with Terrorize, we're gonna see at least 1 scare away, I hope.
Yeah, especially with Bedlam. I've seen Bedlam, it outputs like 900 damage if soloed 1v1 against the Dark Willow. And smoke comes out, they're looking towards TZY. They really need to get close enough to lock him in. And there's the blink from SRF. They get the duel, and as well as the Chaotic Offering coming out from Vici Gaming Potential. They will get the duel win. Aggressive gets the kill, but the Sonic Wave in from Alucard. Now they've got the Torrent. That's going to land on Q, as well as the boat. So Chen in a little bit of trouble. They actually use the Chrono, but there's the Terrorize. So Aggressive gets the double kill, taking out the Queen of Pain. Life No Color doesn't get a kill with that Chronosphere. They take out a 3rd on IG, and now they're looking for DY. That'll be a 4th, and the Torrent does land. They look for the Warlock. Full team wipe in favor of IG over Vici Gaming Potential, and they actually lose nothing. Wow.
This Legion commander really surviving now. That was pretty impressive from his side. So we had a really good team fight execution, starting off with a perfect gank on the Bristleback, the ideal target, because you can deal with everybody else in the middle of a team fight, but not the Bristleback, and just eliminating that threat early on so he doesn't snowball into the fight, potentially getting a lot of stacks from on the Quill Spray on everybody. That is a really good move. And then also we saw the Bedlam securing 1 of the kills. Just flawless execution by IG.
As well as the Terrorize keeping Q alive. That was actually... I was surprised to see the Chronosphere kind of come out, 1 that late, and 2 just on Q. And then on top of all that, they don't even get the kill onto the Chen. It was a good save there from Baboka to get that Terrorize out.
Yeah, that was also without the Hand of God even being used by Chen. Like, they didn't even have that burst heal coming in. It's just... everything played well for them, and if they weren't ahead before, now they're looking at a 5k net worth lead. Their Death Prophet is snowballing together with the Gyrocopter. I would say we both know Gyrocopter is one of the best heroes in the current meta to just snowball with.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yasha coming out for him. He's gonna look into it with Sanjin Yasha potentially having lots of stats, which is definitely needed against heroes such as Queen of Pain and Tukunka.
Just honestly, I'm trying to fathom the fact that we went from a 12-minute first blood and all of a sudden it's just 5-1 and a 5,000 net worth lead 15 minutes in. It's just one wrong move from Vici Gaming Potential in a lineup that I honestly thought looked pretty good from them, and they looked like they were in a good spot, but now down 5,000 net worth, it seems like they're almost either forced to fight and trying to take a win like that, or just farm, and what do you really think is their best option?
I think, looking at sort of VG Game Potential, they still have to run that Chronosphere. If they get it out in time, Void is almost at his Battle Fury, 500 gold away, but after that, you want to build up one additional item and then just go for the fights, because you really can't afford to get this game into the really late game. On the IG side, they just do what they do best. They smoke up, they kill somebody, and then they use Exorcism and gotta get some towers.
Yeah, and they blink in. There's the duel. There's the call down Rocket Barrage. Easy kill. They take out Alucard. XSS with the kill, and they do get that second duel win for the Legion Commander. And off that, they're going to use the Exorcism, go right into Roshan, look for the Aegis, and this is a quick Rosh 16 minutes in.
Yeah, that's one of the perks of having the Death Prophet, so it's pretty common to actually roam into this side of the map if you have the Death Prophet, just so you have that option. You can always desert to Roshan, even if the gank fails. You have an Exorcism running, might as well use it on Rosh. With the physical damage coming out, Rosh is gonna fall in no time.
So
also, there's that medallion coming in handy.
Oh yeah, that Chen first item. Medallion, something I was talking about earlier. He looks like he's going for the mech next. I would assume at some point goes for the Solar Crest. And kind of right now, one thing that I was thinking is IG, 8,000 net worth up. I know this is Vici Gaming Potential, maybe, you know, not the best example of Chinese Dota, you know, top teams, but IG, they look good for a newish lineup put together. They look really good in SRF, right on TZY, ready to go with this duel, just right under the nose of TZY. Can't smell him, can't feel him, but he's there and he's ready to get the duel. There's the overwhelming odds into the duel with the Spirit Siphon from Aggressive. They won't get the duel damage, but with the silence, they should have the kill. And a couple more shots come out. Aggressive now dominating. And IG with another one, now up 7-1, 8,000 net worth lead in their favor. Looking to push a tier 2, still have that Aegis.
There's a Chen army coming in as well. Next is in for 40 seconds. But they just snowball so well. Like, Void is trying to catch up, and he's doing actually a pretty good job at actually keeping the pace for the side of VG Game Potential, but IG, they're 10k ahead now. Like, that was 5k just like 3 minutes ago, and now they doubled their net worth lead. Now they're gonna find some stacks as well for the Jari to... Nope. Go back off. What do they? Come on, don't trail me, Jari. You want that stack, we both know it.
XSS goes back for the stack, and, you know, nothing to take away from Vici Gaming Potential. Personally, I think Chinese region, or the China region, is one of the strongest regions out there, and I feel like there are a lot of teams here that are just on the brink of making a name for themselves. And this Vici Gaming Potential lineup is sort of new, so things looked good. There are definitely things from this game that you could pull away so far for Vici Gaming Potential to work with, but there are definitely things that they need to work on, and, you know, one of the things I think they're lacking is knowing when that moment is there to strike. It feels like they almost kind of missed their prime moment when everybody hit 6.
Yeah, they have a flawless execution on most of their rotations. Like, we've seen this is the next smoking on the side for IG.
Yeah,
just proves my point. Just perfectly timed, always looking for targets. They have insane discipline in the Chinese scene right now, and it feels like you can mash 5 Chinese players that are really good together, and they're always gonna work out and play on a really high level.
And there's the blink into the duel, onto the Bristleback again. He's so sick of this, and SRF gets the kill onto TZY. They also expend the Exorcism, but with a quick kill like that, IG, they'll move over towards the tier 2 mid. Again, still with that Aegis, and right into the tier 2, maybe an attempt coming out at the tier 3, but this is Vici Gaming Potential. Again, a lineup that can turn a team fight around pretty quickly if IG are a little bit, you know, too uncareful.
Yeah, I think IG really respecting this right now. They know Axism is about to run out, and Shen creeps are not unhealthy anymore. At least they're not stacked up, even with the region creep. We're just gonna wait for BKBs. That's something we've seen in the, especially in this Chinese scene. If not the Chinese scene actually set the pace to that, just to mass BKB on pretty much everybody. Get that unified item timing out and just make one big push with all the BKBs. You're just gonna get the advantage in the fight.
Yeah, it's looking like they're working on 3 BKBs right now on all the cores, and I just feel like at that point, Vici Gaming Potential might not have what it takes to really even think they're confident in taking a fight once, you know, BKBs are on the other side. But X comes out on Baboka, there's the Yules, and we'll avoid that X pullback with the boat coming out. And with that, Vici Gaming Potential will cut their losses and back off.
Really nice as well, just anticipating the perfect torrent or the X-Mark play, knowing, hey, he's probably going to set me back earlier because I can't dodge the boat that well. Just using an advanced pay, hitting the perfect timing. Just not losing anything, like there's only 1 kill on the board and then almost a Legion with the first blood, so which was actually not that worth. So that's 8 kills in a row for IG without anything on the board for Vici Gaming Potential. So I think they want to turn this around, but they really feel not safe committing the Void into those fights. He's now going for that Manta style, which is a little bit questionable if you ask me. I feel like he wants it to have an answer to the Cursed Crown Bramble Maze combination, maybe even with the Terrorize if he hit it perfectly well. But question is, where do you go with this Void? Like, yes, he's gonna have some mediocre damage, but how do you actually approach the IG lineup here?
And it's almost a question that feels like it doesn't really have a real answer. There's no approach that I think personally that Vici Gaming Potential can have at this moment, being down so much that they know is gonna work. I feel like they're almost forced to wing it in a way and hope that a team fight goes their way.
Yeah, they have to make extremely risky plays if you ask me. But on the other hand, the siege is running out. On the other hand, IG is playing super disciplined now as well. They're not overcommitting anything, so I doubt they're gonna make that big mistake that leads to Vici Gaming Potential even getting a foot back into this game.
So Baboka here, his net worth, bottom of the net worth, and again, I was talking about how Baboka and Q do kind of split that farm pretty evenly and quite well. Because it's efficient enough to have Dark Will with the Yule's Urn and coming into a blink. But at the same time, you've got a Chen with almost Guardian Greaves as well as a Medallion ready to go. These are your 2 supports here, and that's really strong.
Yeah, both supports kind of watch out for themselves in the fight. Chen is not one of the heroes that actually stays in the front line quite often. Legion Commander can worry about herself in the fight. Same with the Willow being basically ungankable at this point unless you drop everything on her. It's just who do you gank if you're potentially, like, you can't even effectively smoke gang out of your base because you're gonna run into a Chen or a Chen across the map or like a Death Prophet. There's so many Yules and BKBs now up or coming up. You don't have that perfect target you always want to jump on.
Yeah, they just don't seemingly have that burst damage because 2 Hand of God is at the ready. Level 2 Hand of God at the ready. If you think you're gonna get a kill, IG might just go ahead and pop it just to keep one person alive. They haven't had to use it all game. And what better way to use it when you know that you haven't had to use it and you're this far ahead than to just keep one person alive on a gank. IG is crazy. They're crazy. They're so far ahead right now. It's actually, you look at how they're playing the game.
Yeah, we talked about it. It's a super old school kind of lineup. What else to be a little bit careful here. Just tries to cancel TP, but
yeah, we'll go over top. They've got the Cursed Crown here on Life No Color in the Bramble Maze, and there is that Bedlam Time Walk with the TP attempt. But there's the Yules from Baboka locking Life No Color. Cursed Crown again with the homing missile. So not only is there going to be locked down there, the homing missile follows it up with the duel from SRF. and another kill.
Hey, remember when you
IG.
asked about if Maboka is gonna make the big plays in this game? Yes, he is. Just yields, Curse Crown, Bramble Mace, plus the Terrorize, so much control coming out. Just that was a Faceless Void. That was not a support target running in the side trying to TP away. This was a Void with a decent amount of farm, who just got completely annihilated by the Willow.
Wish they would let me pan or move my screen when looking at the death summary on the Faceless Void. That's one thing that they have to implement, because death summary is going to be big, in my opinion, coming into this next phase of Dota. Ooh, Curse Crown comes out. They've got the Flat Cannon coming out from XSS. TZY trying to get away, but there's the Prestige attack as well as the BKB from SRF. Chaotic Offering going to hit a lot of these heroes. And now with the Fatal Bonds, they've got the Scream, but it's just not doing enough. Sonic Wave comes out from the Queen of Pain, and it just doesn't do anything. IG outlast the entire thing, and they kill off their Bristleback.
And again, just 17k net worth lead in 25 minutes, and that's only with 10 kills. That's just power of the exorcism, just taking objective after objective, never dropping a hero, and just solidly farming him up. They effectively monopolized all the farm on this side of the map. Like, so far, potential, they have one camp they can farm, and this is over here on the map. We saw the Void going out on the top, immediately got ganked by two people, or, well, almost the entire lineup, plus Willow. They're gonna try for their own smoke now. Gonna run into them, but that's a gyro.
Yeah, XSS is here as well as the Dark Will. They look for the Chronosphere, but it's a bit of a hesitation. Now Aggressive gets the silence off, and SRF again with that duel, just right onto the Faceless Void. They'll get the kill. The call down is committed. They've also got the homing missile coming out of the Queen of Pain. Alucard just has to run away. And there's the blink, but they can continue to chase the homing missile, not losing its target. But there's finally the Yules, but that gives IG enough time to get aggressive in there. There's the silence, and the boat comes out, but it's not going to be in time. Overwhelming odds with the help of XSS's Rocket Barrage will get the kill on Alucard, and it's that easy for IG.
We saw actually pretty decent smoke gank round to the gyro, but then you saw two heroes on map just splitting into these directions, not giving any chrono target, and the perfect silence coming out from Death Prophet Aggressive, just hitting it perfectly, and twice even together on the Queen of Pain, just again securing 2 kills done. Like, we gotta face it, Vici game they should have gotten at least one hero there, but the chrono wasn't even present because instant duel and perfect split coming out for IG once more.
IG playing it perfectly again, chasing down the Queen of Pain, winning these fights. They look good. And again, nothing to take away from Vici gaming potential. They may not be the best example of a tough opponent. And again, they did have their moments, but IG look crisp. They look really good for a team that we haven't really seen in the last couple of months.
Yeah, they're playing super solid. Like, that's the AG we would expect.
Chronosphere over top. Life No Color going for this Dark Will, but Baboka, well, never mind. I was going to say it's an opportunity for him to maybe get out, but they have the X, they have the Torrent, and they have the damage. Life No Color gets the kill on Baboka. They now double their kill tally up to 2 from 1.
It's just crazy that the Willow can do now. Like, Chronosphere is lasting 4.5 seconds at this point. Shadow Realm was always 5 seconds. So, you press that button, you're safe from the Chronosphere for at least 7-8 seconds. At least he didn't get away this time.
But that's Chronosphere committed for a Dark Will. IG immediately recognize this. They smoke up. They look to be aggressive. Or aggressive. I'll see myself out. And we'll see as they come down for Alucard. There's the duel. They look for the kill. They've got the call down. Boat comes through. Not going to be in time, but there's the Chaotic Offering again. Just not enough. They clean up that golem very quickly. Queen of Pain already dead. No buyback for 50 seconds. They look over TCY, and he's got the Blade Mail, but they're continually pushing him back, and he's in a lot of trouble with the BKB. Popped by XSS. SRF gets the kill, and 2 are dead on the side of Vici Gaming Potential, looking for that tier 3 over bottom. Fatal Bonds comes through, but it's just not doing anything. That's all on creeps, no heroes. IG, they'll take their first set of racks over bottom as the Torrent lands, but doesn't deter. And they use Hand to God. They're ready to go in and take the game.
Yeah, they still have the Exorcism running. They also have 3 catapults stolen by Chen. Well, 2 now. So that's another T3 down, and they know Bristle is down for the count for 20 seconds. Queen needs 10 as well.
So they take out the tier 3, they take out the set of racks, or they take out the melee racks. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but they look over at the range racks and the Cardis. The Cardi A and Cardi B, if you see what I did there, are going to back off with Q. So, IG immediately into that Roche, Aegis cheese, it's going to go their way. And there's nothing that Vici Gaming Potential will do, and Chinese teams usually will fight it out, especially in a league like DPL with a new lineup like Vici Gaming Potential. They'll fight it to the end.
Yeah, they want to test the waters here. They're just gonna still build up synergy. They surely scrimmed a lot before now. They're gonna contest this here with that's a good torrent.
Yeah, Torrent hits on SRF as well as XSS now. They've got the X marks the spot. Let's see if they're able to get themselves a couple of kills here, but the silence comes through onto TZY. They move in on XSS, but there's just no opening, and now they might even look for the dual SRF, trying to find a hero here with the rest of his team towards the top end of Roche. Vici Gaming Potential, they find Q, they'll get the kill, but now they look over SRF with the BKB. The Terrorize comes through. Now the boat's gonna land. It keeps the Queen of Pain alive, and now there is the Faceless Void going with the Chronosphere. But Cursed Crown, that's gonna land after 4 seconds. You're stunned up. They look over at Alucard, they look over at the Faceless Void. 1 and 2 will drop. And now it's DY's turn to die, as well as TZY. IG have 4 heroes here in the ready, looking to go down the throats of Vici Gaming Potential. TZY hits the deck. They look over at the Queen of Pain, who just bought back Alucard. Yule's up. There's the Crypt Swarm, but no silence. 4 heroes alive here for IG, but that was a buyback from Queen of Pain, plus a lot more from Vici Gaming Potential thrown towards IG for basically nothing. And now GoKing, triple kill for XSS, as he takes out this Warlock.
Really hoping we're gonna see 3 more kills from IG. Gonna have to 3-2-2 dream.
I mean, it's definitely a possibility. You gotta get your screenshot ready.
Yeah, how often do you actually see that? Doesn't happen often.
I feel like it happened to me 2 weeks ago, but it was only like a split second. It was like 3-2-2 and then immediately over. And I was just kind of like disappointed because it went from 22 to 23 so fast that I couldn't even catch it.
Couldn't even screenshot.
Nope, I'm not that fast.
All snatching all that karma. But aggressive. Right, barracks has fallen. Oh, catapults are here.
So they take out the mid-range racks. The only racks that stand are the top racks for the side of Vici Gaming Potential, now down 33,000 net worth. I mean, they talk about how 1 racks is easier to defend than 3, and some teams, when they make their comebacks, it's at this moment. But let's
just
see.
30k gold. They essentially 2 cores ahead. The Warlock is sitting on 2k net worth, and there's not much he can actually do. He lives there to drop the K.
Blink dual SRF with the Shadow Realm strike coming out from Bavoko, and the Bedlam coming through. TZY popping that Blade Mail, Curse Crown onto the Warlock. You kind of need to get out of there, Dark Will, as TZY is in your face, but Shadow Realm again, making it so hard for them to go in on this Dark Willow, and this is a position 4/5 Dark Willow. I mean, they have really nothing to give. Exorcism used as well as the BKB by Aggressive. They drop the Chaotic Offering. There's the Chronosphere on 3, but absolutely 0 real follow-up. The boat is not really going to do enough. SRF eats the cheese. TZY trying to run through this team, but has absolutely no answer to what IG's throwing their way. Rocket Barrage hits. TZY goes down as well as GoKing. Now they've got the Torrent. They're looking for something, but Vici Gaming Potential just can't find it, and down 34,000 net worth. They finally call GG. No more kills. It could be the dream. Baboka, no!
No! Baboka, please! Oh, then drain it!
Literally the last second. The dream was so real.
That would have been the perfect ending to this, right?
Oh my god. IG take the first game in this round robin group stage. Oh god, I have to say it, best of 2. And they win 22-4, and they make it look really, really good.
Extremely convincing, especially I felt like the lineup was really good. We basically both aggressive and XSS. just on the Gyro Cup and Death Prophet just going without any deaths, because there was not really the threat of them getting bursted down, like, pretty much ever. Like, Queen of Pain did not come online in this game. We didn't see the Kunker picking up levels early on. Warlock was not ready when the first fights hit. It's just, they completely rolled over them with a really convincing draft.
Yeah, it seemed like Vici Gaming Potential had their moment to make a move at about level 6-7 when they all kind of hit it at the same time, and that moment came and went. So IG, they took full advantage of that, and they rolled and really rolled through Vici Gaming Potential, and they take game 1 in this group stage 2-game series. And we'll be back with game 2 in just a moment. I'm your caster, B-Cop, at BCop92 on Twitter. I am joined here by Potom of the Moon, which he on Twitter is Potom of the _moon. So we'll be back.
Get that underscore in.
I gotta get that underscore in. I gotta remember, it's gotta be exact on Twitter. But you probably find him anyway if you wrote in Potom of the Moon. But I'll give you the exact name just in case. And with that, we'll be back with game 2 in just a moment. Vici Gaming Potential, IG, back in a moment. Stay right there.